Welcome back to SI Motor, where we bring you closer to the machines that turn every ride into an experience. Today, we're taking a closer look at a legendary name in the world of motocross, the Kawasaki KX500. This is a motorcycle that has earned a reputation for serious power, aggressive performance, and unmistakable motocross character. From its vibrant Kawasaki green bodywork to its powerful engine and rugged off-road design, the KX500 represents the raw and exciting side of motorcycle riding. The moment you see the Kawasaki KX500, you know this motorcycle was designed with one purpose in mind: off-road performance. Its tall stance, narrow body, long travel suspension, knobby tires, and aggressive styling immediately give it a competition-inspired appearance. The bright green Kawasaki color makes the bike stand out even before the engine comes to life. Every part of the motorcycle seems to communicate speed, strength, and adventure. Starting from the front, the KX500 has the unmistakable appearance of a motocross machine. The front fender keeps dirt and mud away from the rider, while the large knobby tire is designed to provide traction across loose and uneven terrain. The suspension system is one of the most important parts of an off-road motorcycle, allowing the bike to deal with bumps, ruts, jumps, and rough surfaces much more effectively than a typical street motorcycle. Look at the motorcycle from a direct front view, and its aggressive character becomes even more obvious. The wide handlebars give the rider plenty of control, while the front suspension gives the motorcycle the necessary travel for demanding terrain. The lightweight-looking front section keeps the bike visually slim, which is exactly what you expect from a motocross-focused machine. Move closer to the fuel tank, and the Kawasaki identity becomes impossible to miss. The bright green bodywork gives the motorcycle a distinctive appearance, while the tank and surrounding plastics are designed around the needs of an off-road rider. There is no unnecessary decoration here. The shape is functional, purposeful, and designed to allow the rider to move naturally around the motorcycle. The rider's position is another important part of the KX500 experience. On a motocross motorcycle, the rider isn't simply sitting comfortably like on a touring bike. The rider needs to constantly move, shift body weight, stand on the foot pegs, and react to changing terrain. The handlebars, seat, foot pegs, and fuel tank all work together to give the rider control over the motorcycle when the trail becomes difficult. Now let's move toward the heart of the machine, the engine. The KX500 name is historically associated with a large displacement two-stroke engine, and that heritage is a major part of the motorcycle's legendary reputation. A powerful motocross engine delivers an entirely different character from a small commuter motorcycle. The response can feel immediate and energetic, making throttle control extremely important when riding on loose dirt. The engine area itself is a fascinating combination of mechanical components. Cooling fins, engine covers, frame mounts, exhaust components, cables, and other mechanical parts all work together in a compact package. When you look closely at the engine, you can appreciate how much engineering is packed into a motorcycle designed primarily for performance. The exhaust system is another visually impressive component. The expansion chamber on a two-stroke motocross machine has a distinctive shape, and it is one of the features that instantly separates this type of motorcycle from many four-stroke machines. The metallic finish, curved pipe, and compact design contribute to the bike's unmistakable racing appearance. Of course, engine power is only useful if the motorcycle can put that power onto the ground. That's where the drivetrain and rear wheel become extremely important. The rear section features a large knobby tire designed for dirt surfaces. Those aggressive tread blocks dig into loose soil and provide traction when accelerating. The chain transfers power from the engine to the rear wheel, while the sprocket and suspension components work together to handle the demands of off-road riding. From the rear three-quarter view, you can see just how compact and purposeful the motorcycle is. The rear fender, side panels, seat, exhaust, suspension, and wheel create the unmistakable silhouette of a motocross bike. There is a sense that nothing has been added simply for decoration. Everything has a purpose. Now imagine climbing onto the KX500 and heading toward an open dirt trail. The first-person rider perspective completely changes the experience. Instead of looking at the motorcycle from the outside, you suddenly see the handlebars directly in front of you, the green bodywork below, and the dirt trail stretching into the distance. This is where a motocross motorcycle becomes more than a machine. It becomes a tool for exploring terrain and experiencing speed in a completely different environment. As the motorcycle moves forward, the surface underneath constantly changes. Dirt, small rocks, bumps, and uneven sections require continuous attention. The rider has to maintain balance, control the throttle, choose the correct line, and adjust body position according to the terrain. And this is exactly where the character of a powerful motocross motorcycle becomes apparent. On a rough trail, acceleration isn't just about going faster. It's about finding traction. Too much throttle can cause the rear tire to lose grip, while too little can leave the motorcycle struggling through difficult terrain. The rider has to learn how the motorcycle responds and use that response intelligently. The suspension becomes equally important when the trail gets rough. A motocross bike needs to absorb impacts while keeping the motorcycle controllable. When the front wheel encounters a bump, the suspension compresses and rebounds. The rear suspension does its part as the motorcycle travels over uneven ground. From a direct side view, the movement of the suspension and wheels becomes especially easy to appreciate. The motorcycle appears compact and aggressive while the rider remains positioned over the center of the bike. This balance between machine and rider is one of the most important aspects of motocross. And then there is the sound. A powerful two-stroke engine has a distinctive character that motorcycle enthusiasts immediately recognize. The sharp response, mechanical note, and exhaust sound create an atmosphere that is difficult to reproduce with an ordinary street motorcycle. Combined with the sound of dirt beneath the tires, it creates a unique off-road experience. But the KX500 isn't simply about making noise or producing impressive acceleration. Riding a high-powered off-road motorcycle requires responsibility and skill. Terrain can change unexpectedly, and the motorcycle's performance demands respect. Proper protective equipment, suitable riding areas, and appropriate training are essential for anyone riding an off-road machine. For experienced riders, however, the appeal is easy to understand. There is something special about leaving the paved road behind and entering an open dirt environment. There are no traffic lights, no city intersections, and no ordinary road routine. Instead, there are trails, hills, jumps, corners, and changing surfaces. Every section of the trail presents a new challenge. The Kawasaki KX500 fits naturally into that environment because its entire identity is built around off-road performance. Let's take another look at the details. The green bodywork gives the bike its signature Kawasaki appearance. The black seat provides contrast, while the metallic engine and exhaust components add a mechanical character. The wheels and suspension give it a rugged appearance, and the overall proportions make it immediately recognizable as a serious motocross machine. Even when the motorcycle is standing still, it looks fast. That is one of the most interesting things about motocross motorcycles. Their design is influenced by performance so heavily that their appearance communicates speed even without movement. The narrow body, high ground clearance, long suspension travel, lightweight-looking construction, and aggressive tires all contribute to that impression. Now picture the KX500 moving across a dirt trail from a direct side view. The rider leans slightly forward. The suspension works underneath the motorcycle. The rear tire throws a small amount of dust into the air. The green bodywork flashes through the sunlight as the bike moves across the landscape. It's a simple image, but it captures everything people love about off-road riding. Then the perspective changes again. From the front, the motorcycle approaches directly toward the camera. The front tire is centered, the handlebars are wide, and the suspension is working as the bike crosses the uneven surface. Dust rises behind the motorcycle while the rider maintains control. And from the rider's own perspective, the experience becomes even more immersive. The handlebars fill the lower part of the view. The trail continues ahead. The engine responds to throttle input, the motorcycle moves over the terrain, and the rider constantly adjusts position. This is the kind of riding where concentration matters just as much as confidence. The KX500 name has a special place in motocross history because of the reputation associated with its powerful engine and competition-oriented design. Even today, the idea of a big-bore two-stroke motocross motorcycle continues to attract enthusiasts who appreciate classic performance and mechanical character. For motorcycle fans, machines like this aren't just transportation. They're part of motorcycle culture. They represent a period when large displacement two-stroke motocross motorcycles were known for their raw personality and serious performance. They also remind us how dramatically motocross technology and design have evolved over the years. But regardless of the era, the fundamental idea remains the same: rider, motorcycle, and terrain working together. That connection is what makes off-road riding so exciting. The motorcycle can have incredible engineering, but ultimately the rider is responsible for controlling it. Every corner, every bump, every acceleration zone requires a decision. The better the rider understands the motorcycle, the more confidently they can approach the terrain. And that brings us back to the Kawasaki KX500. It is bold, it is aggressive, it is unmistakably green, and it represents one of the most exciting chapters in motocross motorcycle history. From the detailed engine components to the rugged rear suspension, from the aggressive knobby tires to the distinctive fuel tank and bodywork, every part contributes to the motorcycle's identity. Whether you're looking at it from the front, studying the engine up close, watching it from a direct side view, or experiencing the trail from the rider's perspective, the KX500 has a presence that is difficult to ignore. This is the kind of motorcycle that makes you look twice. It's a machine built around performance, control, and the freedom of off-road riding. And when that bright, green motorcycle disappears down a dirt trail with dust rising behind it, you understand why motocross continues to attract riders and fans around the world. So, what do you think about the Kawasaki KX500? Would you take this legendary machine onto a challenging dirt trail, or would you prefer a modern motocross motorcycle with the latest technology? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this detailed look at the Kawasaki KX500, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to SI Motor, and turn on notifications for more motorcycle content, cinematic bike visuals, reviews, and legendary machines. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next ride.